Hi all, welcome back to my channel, BK World TV. So in this video, this is part 2 of the video for Pack 5. This will cover stages 35 through 38. Originally, I was gonna record or make a video rather from stages 31 through 38, but it was gonna exceed 20 minutes, maybe go into 30 or 40 minutes. So I decided to break it down into 2 parts. So by the end of this video, you should be seeing the tire as well as the rear axle. So, but anyways, I hope you enjoy the videos for stages 35 through 38. In stage 35, we will be assembling the rear suspension, which is these parts here, and then we will be attaching the entire rear axle to the main chassis. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, we have the rear suspension here. So first thing is we will be installing these springs onto the shock absorbers. So one goes to the right side and the other one goes to the left side, just like that. And then once we have the springs installed on the shock absorber, we will be getting our chassis, which is this one here. Let's see, let's make some space. So we're focusing now on the rear side of the chassis, on the rear end. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the axle. You don't lose the springs on the way. Just make sure that the springs stays into place. So we're gonna get the rear axle, and then we're gonna seat it right onto these 2 holes right here, like that. So once the axle is seated onto those holes, the arm mounts is going to go right into these slots right here on both sides. So it's going to go, be seated just like that. And then we're going to carefully flip over the entire chassis with the axle in place. So once the axle, once we flip it over, we're gonna push down on the chassis so that the holes for the shock absorber is gonna go through the holes on the chassis here. So just like that. And then basically we're gonna secure those 2 shock absorbers in place to the chassis using 2 PS11 screws. So let's go ahead and screw that in place. So we'll go ahead and tighten these screws now that their screws are in place. Just be sure not to over tighten them because the while the chassis is metal, the shock absorbers are plastic. So once the screws are in, we're gonna flip the entire chassis over again to the bottom side. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach these arms into place. So as you can see, there's 2 holes here. So the upper arm is going to go into the hole on top, since we're technically upside down or flipped over. Entire chassis is flipped over, and then basically then the lower part of the arm is going to go into the other hole. But for each step, so just like that, but for the upper arm, we're gonna secure that in place with another PS11 screw. And then for the bottom arm, we're gonna also use another PS11 screw, and then we're gonna secure that in place as well. Then we're gonna tighten up the screws just like that. So as you can see, if we zoom in, you can see the arms here are now installed to the chassis right there for both the upper and lower arms. Then we're gonna do the exact same thing, but now on the other side. So basically, the upper arm's gonna go into the upper hole, and then the lower arm's gonna go into the lower hole, and then we're gonna use another 2 more PS11 screws to screw that in place. So let's go ahead and screw those in. So now that we got the arms for the rear suspension attached to the chassis, what we're going to do next is we're going to install the drive shaft, which is basically this piece here that came on the stage. So basically the holes, the two mounting holes on the drive shaft is basically gonna go into here, but it's gonna slide. The end of the drive shaft is gonna slide into the bottom side of the chassis onto the rear axle, and it's gonna be seated just like that. And then if we flip it over, so as you can see, the drive shaft is attached to the rear axle over there, and then we're gonna secure the drive shaft into the in place onto the chassis with these two holes using 2 PS25 screws. So let's go in and screw the drive shaft in. So as you can see, we now got the drive shaft mounted onto the chassis and into the axle. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our we're gonna install the stabilizers. So if we position that, zoom out just a little bit. So our stabilizers would be these pieces here. They are marked left and right. So the stabilizers, they will attach to these two pins. One pin is smaller than the other, and they're on both sides, so it'll only fit in one direction. Just make sure that the arm for the stabilizer is on the inside of the mount for the rear axle. So it's going to go in like this, and then we're going to screw it in from the other side with one PS25 screw each. So let's go and screw them in. So now we're screwing in the right side of the stabilizer, or the stabilizer for the right side. So once that is done, we'll set the entire chassis aside. And then we're going to take the transverse stabilizer bars, which is these two pieces here. So basically, as you can see, if we get closer, the holes on the end of each stabilizer is different sizes. One is larger than the other, just to make a note of that. So we're going to first take the stabilizer with the smaller hole, and then we're going to take the stabilizer bar holder here, and then basically it's going to mount onto this flat end here, just like that, and then we're going to screw that in place with one PS25 screw. So we'll go ahead and screw those pieces in together. These pieces are plastic, so just make sure don't over tighten them. And then next, we're going to take the other stabilizer, one with the larger hole, and then we're going to take the other stabilizer bar holder, which is this piece right here. And then basically, what's going to happen is the stabilizer holder with the little pin that's sticking out is going to face the opposite direction of the stabilizer bar. So it's going to fit in just like that. And then we're going to screw both the pieces together with another PS25 screw. So as you can see, now we got both of the stabilizer transverse stabilizer bars attached to the mount. We're going to now take the stabilizer bar connection, just this piece right here. And then basically the stabilizer bar connection has a large pin and a small pin. So basically the arm's gonna go to each side, with the one with the exact same size of the hole. We're gonna slide the pin in. So let's first start with the arm with the larger hole. So basically it's just gonna click into place, and then we're gonna repeat the same process for the other transverse stabilizer bar. So just like that. So as you can see, it's now all connected together. And then next, we're gonna bring back the chassis and then flip it over. So now we're focusing only on the rear portion here. So basically, we're gonna get the transverse stabilizer bar and then the mount for the left side is gonna attach onto this small section here. There's a pin on the mount that's gonna go into the smaller hole. So let's go in and put the pin through there. Pin's gonna go right through the hole, and then we're gonna secure it from the other side with one PS25 screw. So the screw is gonna attach, go through right there. So as you can see, now the one side of the stabilizer bar is screwed in. We're gonna take the other side, and then this side is gonna go through the square hole that's on the rear part of the chassis. And then we're gonna secure that again with another PS25 screw on the other side. So we're gonna turn the chassis over to screw it in. So the screw is gonna go right into this corner right there. I don't know if it's a little bit hard to see, but there's the hole for the screw there. So once the transverse stabilizer bar is attached to the chassis on both ends, we're going to connect the middle part of the stabilizer bar into the differential cover. So basically it's going to line up just like that, and then we're going to screw that in place with one PS14 screw. Before that, just one correction. The left side of the transverse stabilizer bar is gonna be on top, and then the other side is gonna be on the bottom. So if you're looking at an angle, it should be in this position, not the other way around. That's my bad. Just so you guys know that I do make mistakes sometimes. And then we're gonna, so like I said, we're gonna screw that in place with one PS14 screw. So just like that, as you can see, we now got the transverse stabilizer installed onto the differential cover and onto the mounted onto the chassis. So that is basically it for stage 35. In stage 36, we will be assembling the outer wheel rim. This is the regular build of the outer wheel rim. There's the easy build option, which basically has all the spokes installed. This is now the third wheel that we are going to be assembling. So let's get started. So as you can see, these are all the parts for stage 36. So we'll be getting our wheel assembly tool here on the mount, and then we're gonna take the wheel center, which is this piece here. We're gonna slide it right into this mount. There is a slight notch into it, so it'll lock into place when you're building the or assembling these spokes. So that's really helpful. So otherwise the piece will be moving. And then we're gonna take this outer wheel rim here, and then it's gonna line up there's a little pinhole that's gonna line up with the pin that's on the mount. So we'll seat that into place just like that. And then we will be starting the assembly of each of the spokes onto the outer wheel rim. Sure, you've already seen the video on the spoke installation. I think when we first did the installation of the wheel, and then now this is the third time. So we'll be right back once all these spokes are installed. Okay, so now that we got all the spokes on the lower and upper part of this outer wheel rim, we're gonna finish it by installing the spoke retainer ring, which is this piece right here. Again, there is a little notch or a piece sticking out of the retainer ring here. It's gonna line up with the outer wheel rim. There's a spot where that notch will go, seat into place, and then we're going to secure that with 4 PS01 screws. Let's go ahead and screw those in. So again, the spokes are loose. While they are in place, they are loose, so just got to be very careful when you try not to move it too much. Otherwise, you're going to have to redo all the spokes again. So as you can see, we now have the outer wheel rim completely installed with all the spokes. So that is it for stage 36. In stage 37, we will be building the inner wheel rim. This is the regular build. The regular build consists of 2 stages for the outer wheel rim and assembling the inner wheel rim. So, but anyways, we'll go ahead and install the spokes for the inner wheel rim and stuff over to the outer wheel rim that we set up in stage 36. So let's get started. So in the first step, if we zoom in, we'll take the outer wheel rim that we set up in stage 36, and then we're going to take this spacer ring and then basically install it onto the outer wheel rim. Now there's a hole on the spacer. It's going to line up with the little pin that's on the outer wheel rim, and then basically you just push it into place until everything clicks. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to take the spokes from pack A right here. Again, this is a repeat for the other spokes that we, or the wheels that we've been setting up already. We set up 2 of these. So basically it's gonna slide through the lower hole in here, and then it's gonna go through the spokes in the front into the back, and then hook up onto here. But anyways, since this is gonna take some time, we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and install the spokes and then be right back. Now that we got the rest of the spokes for the inner wheel rim installed, we'll go ahead and add the rest of the rim assembly. So there's a notch from the outer wheel rim that's going to line up with the little hole there. So we'll go ahead and attach that, so just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to secure that in place with 4 PS02 screws. So let's go ahead and screw that in. So as you can see, now I got the rim all installed together. So we'll go ahead and tighten up the screws just to make sure. And then we'll move the paper. So as you can see, now that the rim is completed, that is it for stage 37. In stage 38, we will be fitting the tire over, installing the tire onto the wheel rim, and then installing the tire slasher, which is basically the gadget that sticks out from the middle of the center of the wheel. So let's go ahead and get started. So we got a bowl of hot water here. We're going to put the tire in for 1 to 2 minutes in order to soften the tire so we can put it onto the wheel easily. So now that the tire has been softened, we'll go ahead and dry it. You can see we're going to dry the tire up. And then we're going to take the wheel and then install the tire onto it. So now that we got our tire installed, as you can see, so the rear tire is a little bit different from the previous, or the wheel is different from the previous, the front wheels, in that there are 3 notches or the mount to the brake disc is different. So we're going to go ahead and for this step install it onto the chassis here. So we're going to install it onto the right side of the rear wheel, or the rear axle right there. So we're going to go ahead and mount. It's going to mount right onto the clip, just like that. It's going to click into place, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the tire slasher here, which is this piece of the long stem, and then it's going to slide right into that metal pin that we slid through into the axle. We're just going to go and slide that through. So there we go. Just need to push it in a little bit hard, but not too hard because it is plastic. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to take this the top piece of the slasher here, and basically it's going to just fit right onto the other piece of the slasher that we installed to the axle. And then that is it for stage 38. So in pack 5, what we basically did was we flipped the entire chassis on to show the bottom. We assembled the rear axle as well as the both of the brake discs in the caliper, as well as the suspension and the traverse stabilizer here, and the some of the stabilizers in the rear, as well as the drive shaft we mounted onto the chassis. And then we basically set up the right rear wheel and then installed the slasher and attached it to the rear axle. So that is basically it for pack 5. So far it is looking nice. I can't wait to start working on the actual body of the Aston Martin DB5 as well. Looking forward to when that will come in. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.